What's going on YouTube? Another trade review for you guys today and another quick profitable trade in the books. So heading in today guys, the game plan was that, have the awareness that our market has, though not incredibly strong, has kind of continued this uptrend, just kind of drifting higher and everything kind of looking like smooth sailing. So, with that in mind, that big picture, in mind, heading into today, guys, the major focus for me, and I sent this out to our members this morning, was a focus on the technology sector. Very clear, guys, from the rip this morning that it wasn't really going to be a day where we saw accumulation of technology across the board. As of right now, XLK, the technology sector, is literally flat on the day. So there is, essentially, really, in all reality, no money going into tech other than Netflix today. Now, typically, guys, I like to avoid what I would call a lone wolf, which is kind of a stock, kind of going against the tide on its own. But you had a special instance here this morning in Netflix, and I can't stress it enough, guys. Having this, awareness, really putting in your work in the evening, ripping through the charts, guys. These are important things to know. Heading into this morning, we knew that Netflix was approaching not only a breakout level, guys, but also approaching an all-time high. So you got to understand, guys, a lot of traders, they run scans, and they look for very basic things such as breakouts and all-time highs. So, with that understanding, everyone and their mom and their sister and brother and everyone in the whole fucking family today, if you're running a breakout or an all-time high scan, Netflix is right there, guys. So as that money came into Netflix today, you have everyone, this alert is popping up on their scans, they're buying Netflix, and you've kind of had this continued rally today in Netflix despite our market being very, very quiet, actually a bit red on the day. So again, you have to understand, guys, the big picture of where we are in the markets. Do we have wind at our back? You got to understand the big picture of, what's going on around the sector of the given stock I'm trading, because if you can quickly identify that a trade is kind of out there on its own, moving independently, you can still trade that, but 9 times out of 10, your best bet is to day trade that. Take advantage of that big move, guys, book your profit and get out. So with that being said, this move kind of got away from me this morning, without me being able to take an entry where I ideally would. Now, I actually ended up taking this trade in my younger brother's retirement account versus my own personal account, so I put a little less capital into the trade than I typically do, but again, still worked out to be a hell of a trade. So she opened up strong this morning, guys. Nice rally right off the gap higher this morning at the open, and then she pulled back a bit here. So I took my position on this 5-minute bar right here as the buying volume, which you can see, went from green to red. As those buyers came back in, guys, I took my position, and I took that position, I forget the exact time, guys, but this was about a 7 to 8 minute trade in total. So took my position kind of the low of that bar right there, and then I sold very shortly after, guys, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, I'm sorry, 3 bars later, right there. So simple trade, guys, in and out. And again, I used the bigger picture of the market and kind of just a bigger situational awareness of what's going on in Netflix here, to make this a day trade. Now, not a very big indicator guy. I don't really trade with too many indicators. I really just rely on good old-fashioned supply and demand, support, resistance, and just simply price action and volume. But for these kind of day trades, guys, there are key levels that a lot of day traders work off of, and it's important to keep those in mind because it can take some of the guesswork out of the trade. Now, I'm not an expert on this. It's something I'm relatively new to kind of messing around with, along with my mentor. But this green line right here, guys, is here's a better example. Here we go. So this white line right here, and I'm not going to get too complicated into all these indicators, but this white line right here, guys, is the open. That's the open for Netflix today. So everything else, guys, is measured from that point, the open. That green line right there is 100% of the average true range. And in plain English, guys, the average true range of a stock is the most likely move that it's going to make. It's based upon some data, based upon how it's done over the past X amount of days, X amount of weeks and months. The average true range is kind of, its expected move. And that green line is 100 times or, 100% of that expected move or that normal move. And that's where a lot of traders trim profits, guys. So as you can see, traders definitely took profits there once this morning. And as it revisited that line, I took my profits there. Not too often will you see a stock kind of power through. And again, Netflix is really moving independent today. Looks like it's fading a bit, but that was a plain and simple trade, guys. And it all started from my game plan. The game plan heading into today, I already knew this last night before my head hit the pillow, was to watch technology stocks. Quite simply, I saw huge volume going into Netflix, but Netflix only. So I said, okay, you know what? Not a group move, but money flowing here because of, this breakout, this all-time high. Let's take a position on a dip, sell it at the most logical point for a quick trade, which is, 100% of its most logical move, the average true range, and I booked those profits, guys. So that trade was in and out, and that was a quickie, guys, about, again, 8 minutes or so. And because I took, a smaller position size than I typically would in my brother's account, I made a $320 profit on, I think, a little over $1,000 of risk, and it was a 20% return. So, $1,600 position size and 20% return, 320 bucks in 8 minutes, and then moved on to my day, guys. So as you can see, Netflix really falling now. And that's about it, guys. So another trade review for you. Take your notes, guys. Big picture in mind, and hope you found this helpful. And as always, guys, www.focustrades.com. Click that link, join now, become a member. It's a $99 investment for an entire year. Not monthly. One payment of $99 gets you access to our team, our video series, training materials, chat rooms, and in the one-on-one kind of deep detailed videos like this that I'm sending out to our members all day long. So hope to see you guys in the Focus Trades family soon.